Something is happening on shelves right now that most people are not catching. Specific categories of practical goods are quietly thinning out, not dramatically, not in a way that makes headlines, just steadily. Narrowing options, rising prices, reduced stock depth that you only notice if you were paying attention to what those shelves looked like 6 months ago. This is not theoretical anymore. Broad tariffs on goods manufactured in China, which is the origin point for the majority of emergency supplies sold at mass retail price points in the United States, are already in effect and already moving through the supply chain toward the price you pay at the register. What costs $8 today will cost $12 or $15 in 60 to 90 days when current inventory turns over and retailers reorder at the new landed cost. This is not a panic video, it is a timing video. These 7 items belong in your preparedness setup regardless of what is happening in global trade. The tariff situation simply means the window to buy them at a price that still makes sense is closing on a defined timeline. And that timeline is shorter than most people realize. Subscribe now and stay for number 6. It is the most directly impacted category on this entire list. The price increase coming on that one is the most significant, the most permanent, and the one with no domestic alternative to soften it. 1. Battery-powered AM and FM radios. The majority of consumer electronics sold at mass retail in the United States are manufactured in China and sit directly in the tariff crosshairs. A dedicated NOAA-capable battery radio currently costs between $15 and $30 at Walmart. That price reflects pre-tariff landed cost. When current inventory sells through and reorders arrive at new tariff rates, the replacement price for an equivalent product will be meaningfully higher. This is a tool you should already own. A battery radio with NOAA capability is your verified information lifeline in any grid-down scenario where mobile networks have overloaded and social media has filled with noise. Buy one for your home emergency kit and one for your go bag. Add 2 sets of backup batteries alongside each. Do it now at the price that still makes sense. 2. Manual hand tools, hand saws, utility knives, pry bars, manual can openers, basic wrenches. The complete category of tools that requires no electricity, no battery, and no fuel to function, and that forms the practical repair and survival toolkit of any extended emergency scenario. Chinese manufactured tools dominate the value tier at every mass retailer in this country. A complete basic hand tool kit currently costs under $50 at current pricing. Post-tariff, that same kit costs meaningfully more for identical products with no functional difference. Go through your current tool situation honestly this week. Identify every gap. A hand saw, a quality utility knife with replacement blades, a pry bar, a manual can opener you have actually tested. Buy the gaps now. These are permanent assets. They do not expire and they do not require replacement under normal use. 3. Waterproof storage containers and food-grade buckets. Food-grade 5-gallon buckets with Gamma Seal lids and waterproof dry bags are the physical infrastructure of any serious long-term storage system. Both categories are sourced almost entirely from Chinese manufacturing at the price points where mass retail sells them. Both are seeing quiet stock reductions right now before the full retail price movement hits. A food-grade 5-gallon bucket with a Gamma Seal lid currently costs under $6. Its function, protecting your grain and staple supply from moisture, oxygen, and pests indefinitely, is completely unchanged by what you paid for it. The price is what changes. Buy the containers now and fill them on your own timeline. The infrastructure is the investment. 4. Disposable lighters in bulk. A 10-pack currently costs under $6 at any mass retailer. Each lighter represents approximately 3,000 strikes of reliable fire-starting capacity. At current pricing, this is the most affordable fire-starting redundancy available at any preparedness level. A significant portion of disposable lighter manufacturing runs through Chinese supply chains, and the current tariff structure hits this category directly. Buy several 10-packs now. Store them sealed in a dry location away from heat. They do not degrade in storage. They do not expire on a meaningful timeline. The price you pay today is the lowest you are likely to see on this specific item for the foreseeable future, and the utility they represent does not change regardless of what you paid for them. 5. 95 respirator masks in bulk packaging. The COVID supply chain crisis demonstrated exactly what happens to the availability and pricing of respiratory protection when demand spikes and domestic manufacturing cannot absorb the volume gap. That lesson cost people real money and real exposure risk. The tariff situation creates a slower version of the same dynamic. Bulk packaging of 95 masks at Walmart currently reflects normalized post-pandemic supply at stable pricing. A significant portion of this manufacturing capacity runs through Chinese facilities. Current tariff levels applied to this category will move retail pricing upward when existing inventory turns. Buy a box of 20 to 30 masks now. Sealed in original packaging, they have a multi-year shelf life. They address the respiratory emergency most statistically likely to affect urban civilians, which is wildfire smoke, and they belong in every household emergency kit at any preparedness level. 6. Portable solar panels and power banks. This is the one. The most directly impacted category on this entire list, and where the price increase will be the most significant, the most permanent, and the hardest to avoid because there is no meaningful domestic manufacturing alternative at consumer price points. Consumer portable solar panels and lithium power banks are manufactured almost entirely in China. When import costs rise on this category, retail prices follow with nothing to cap them because there is no competing domestic supply to create price competition. A 20,000 mAh power bank currently costs between $20 and $35. A foldable 10 to 20 watt solar panel costs between $25 and $50. Together, these two items form a complete off-grid phone and radio charging system that functions indefinitely without grid access. Buy both now. The functional value of this combination in any grid-down scenario is identical regardless of what you paid. The price difference between buying today and buying in 90 days on this specific category will be the largest of anything on this list. Act on this one first. 7. Basic first aid consumables. Nitrile gloves, medical tape, sterile bandages in multiple sizes, antiseptic wipes, and the consumable components of any functional wound care kit are sourced heavily from Chinese manufacturing at the price points where mass retail moves them. This is the category where price increases are most directly consequential because these are items people consistently delay purchasing until the moment they need them. That moment is not the moment to discover prices have moved significantly. Buy your first aid resupply this week, not a novelty kit in a red zipper bag, individual components in meaningful quantities, a full box of nitrile gloves, a bulk pack of sterile bandages, a roll of medical tape, a sealed canister of antiseptic wipes. These items do not expire quickly, take up almost no space, and address the category of emergency most statistically likely to require them before any other item in your preparedness setup gets used. 7 categories, all practical, all things you should own regardless of what is happening in global trade policy. The tariff situation does not create the reason to buy them. It creates the reason to buy them this week instead of next month. The inventory currently sitting on Walmart shelves was imported at pre-tariff landed cost. When it sells through and reorders arrive at new rates, the price tag you see will reflect the new reality. That transition is measured in weeks, not months. The window is open right now, and it is closing on a schedule that has nothing to do with when you feel ready. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 7 you are getting first. The honest answers in this comment section are what make this channel useful to the next person who finds it. Subscribe if this is the preparedness content your feed has been missing. And the next video goes deeper into the supply chain story behind all of this. Which everyday categories beyond survival gear are about to get significantly more expensive, and what the documented historical pattern of trade disruption tells us about how long these price increases actually last. That one is coming soon, do not miss it.